Why isn't Danada Equestrian Center using equine best practices for the care, feeding, and well-being of their herd? Why, since at least March of 2020, have their feeders been empty by approximately 5 p.m. each night, leaving the horses for more than 15 hours straight without any hay or any type of food? A horse's body was designed by nature to be chewing 16 to 20 hours per day. There's a vital reason for this. It's not that they're just always hungry, it's that they have a physiological reason for it. When they chew, they are producing saliva. That's important because they have a small stomach. It only holds about 2 to 4 gallons. Now, their stomach is continually 24/7, whether they're eating or not, producing hydrochloric acid. So when they're eating, that's a good thing because that saliva is protecting them from ulcers and even worse, colic. So they need to keep eating. And if they don't have any hay present, that acid is building up in their stomach. And it's going to cause them, at the very least, discomfort. And at the very worst, they could get an ulcer or go into a colic. My question is, why doesn't Danada know this? And if they do know it, why are they ignoring it? Currently, the outside herd consists of 2 groups, one with 8 horses and the other with 3. There are usually more horses, but 3 are now stalled in the main barn with injury or health issues. The staff now leaves at 4 p.m. daily. The outside herd is fed at approximately 2:30 to 3 p.m., and this is the last feeding the herd will have until approximately 8 to 9 a.m. the next day. The 8 horses get 2 bales, or approximately 20 flakes of hay that are fed loosely. The other 3 get 1/2 a bale, or 5 flakes. Does this amount of hay last these horses until the next morning? Nope, not even close. If any of you have or ever had a pet, would you leave that pet for more than 15 hours straight without any food at all every single day? We highly doubt it, because beside it being risky to the animal's health, most people would view it as cruel, inhumane, or even abusive. Is the feeding practice Danada is now using best for these horses? Is Danada's current feeding program nutritionally sound and based on equine science? Is the important gut health being taken into consideration? We think not. It's not our opinion. It is fact and based on equine best practices and the anatomy and physiology of the horse. And why would Danada leave a horse that has already been diagnosed with ulcers? And I'm talking about a horse named Moxie. In fact, Moxie was diagnosed, as I said, with ulcers. And in fact, just a few months ago, she was brought into the main barn because of her ulcers, and she stayed in there for a few weeks. So why would she be back with the herd where every single night for at least 15 hours straight per night, they have no food, nothing to chew? Don't they care about her health? Or do they like vet bills? And why did Danada remove the slow feed hay nets they once had? Those hay nets help the horses to slow down their eating. They would be chewing longer, thus producing the needed saliva to protect their stomachs. And also, it would help the hay to last longer through the night. Also, I don't understand why Danada would want their horses to have any distress overnight. There's nobody there watching out for them. They are there all those hours till the next morning with absolutely nothing to eat. They are milling around looking for scraps because they're desperate. It's like a person. When we get sick, we reach for a Tums. Their hay is their Tums. Why would Danada want these horses to have any kind of discomfort at all? Our group, Friends of Danada Herd, have witnessed and recorded since March of 2020 the empty feeders by 5 to 5:30 p.m. daily, horses desperately searching for anything to eat, including trying to get a muzzle under the fence to just grab a little grass, and even have seen sparks flying when they get an electric shock from the electric fence when they're trying to do so. We wonder how the DuPage County taxpayers would react seeing this happening, because the Forest Preserve District thinks it's okay to let horses go long periods of time, especially through the night, without anything to eat. We have been outraged that Danada has no sound policies of horse care and feeding, especially since it is not a private stable but a public entity and should have transparency. We want the DuPage County Board of Commissioners and the president of the DuPage County Forest Preserve District to implement feeding practices based on equine science, not on opinion or on what other stables may be doing. Letting horses go without hay or forage for more than 4 hours straight is not an equine best practice and could cause serious health issues. Why would Danada not want to follow best practices for their horses? We would be happy to discuss this issue with you by phone, in person, or even a Zoom call. We would rather see you do what is right by these horses and not have to take this issue to the public. We have included in our email links to articles providing you with expert sources for what we have said in this video, along with contact information. We really hope you will respond to our video, but if you don't, we will be forced to go to the public using YouTube and all social media. We don't want to do this, but the horses have no voice. We are their voices. Thank you for your time.